Hello guys and welcome back to Craze. So today I'm going to show you guys on how to assess a dead battery and how to start a car which has a dead battery. Now this works for all kind of petrol engines, diesel engines, compact cars, SUVs, MUVs. No matter which type of car, it's all the same which has a 12-volt battery. So without any further delay, let's get started with the video. So guys, the first thing which you have to do if your car is not starting is pop open the bonnet and run a voltage meter on the battery. Now why I'm telling you guys to start with the battery is because a bad battery might be the main reason why your car is not starting. If the car is in a turned off position, the battery should show minimum of 12 volts. Now if you're getting good voltage from the battery but the car is not starting, it might be a bad alternator or a bad starter motor. If you could hear the cranking sound with a good voltage from the battery, it's the bad alternator. But no cranking sound but good voltage from the battery, it's the bad starter motor. Now I should start by diagnosing the battery, so let's go ahead and set up the multimeter. So guys, before going any further, I'll show what exactly is the problem with this car. Now I shall take the key, put it in the run position to see whether everything works. So everything works pretty well. The digital meter turns on, the infotainment system turns on, as well as the light, there's no problem, it's working. So it might not be the battery, but don't judge guys. Even the battery might be capable enough of powering the infotainment system as well as the digital meter, but it might not be capable enough to give enough power to start the vehicle. Now once I crank the engine, I can hear the starter motor, but the car is not starting. So I guess it's mostly a dead battery. So let's go ahead and check the voltage of the battery. So guys, here I have a digital multimeter to check the voltage of the battery. So set the voltage to 20 DC volts and connect the red to the positive and black to the negative. Guys, I have the car key with me and the car is in complete turned off position, and when the car is in a complete turned off position, it should show minimum of 12 volts. So let's go ahead and check the condition of this battery. So as you guys can see, it's just showing 11.8 volts, which shows that this car has a bad battery, and that's the main reason why this car is not starting. So guys, as I guessed, it's the bad battery which is the main reason for this car not to start. A good battery should show minimum of 12 volts when the car is in turned off position, but this battery shows 11 something volt, which is not enough, or which is not sufficient enough for the car to start. Now there are two methods which you can use in order to start a car with a bad battery or a dead battery. One is to ask someone to push the car, slot the car into second gear and pop the clutch when the car is in motion in order to start the car. The second step is to use jumper cables with the help of an external battery or an other car's battery in order to give the initial thrust to this battery to start the engine. In my case, I have to use the second method because the first method is completely impossible on an automated transmission car. Now this is a Tata Tiago with an AMT transmission and it does not have a clutch, so the first step is not at all possible. So I have a set of jumper cables here which I'll be using in order to start this battery. Now I purchased these jumper cables from Amazon. It's Amazon Basics jumper cables. It costed me around 1000 rupees change when I had a deal which was running on this. Now most of you might not have a jumper cable. If you're willing to buy, you can go ahead and buy one, which is worth investing, or if you can head up to your nearest battery store or a mechanic and ask them for jumper cables if they could lend. Now many of them are also scared to use a jumper cable as they are scared that some kind of spark might be emitted from the battery while using jumper cable, which might lead to fire. Guys, it's a myth. I'm going to show you guys on how to safely use a jumper cable. So I'll go ahead and set up the other car in front of this car to get the power from that battery to this battery. So I've set both the cars in front of each other. This is the car with a bad battery and this is the car with a good battery. Now guys, make sure the car which is helping the other one to start, make sure that the battery of this car is in a good condition, because if the battery is about to die or if it's somewhat in a bad condition, you'll end up screwing this battery as well by helping the other car to start. So I ran a voltage meter on this and it showed more than 12 volts, so it's good enough to power the other battery to start. So I'll go ahead, set up my jumper cables, in fact show you guys on how to set up the jumper cables to help the other one start. So starting up, this is the bad battery, so I'll be connecting one of the red crocodile clippers to the positive terminal of this battery. Now take the other red crocodile type clipper or the positive and connect it to the good battery. And take the black or the negative side of the crocodile clipper and connect it to the negative terminal of the good battery. Now go ahead and take the negative or the black crocodile clipper and connect it to the negative side of the dead battery. So once the connection is done, just don't go ahead and start the car with a bad battery. If you do so, the car with a good battery, the battery might drain or the battery might die. So first step is to go ahead and start the car off the one which has a good battery, let it run for a few seconds, and then go ahead and start the car with a bad battery. So I shall move ahead by starting the car with a good battery. So it's been like almost 30 seconds to a minute since this car has been started up, so it's pretty much ample time for the battery to charge up. Now I'll head up and start the car with the dead battery. So guys, this car started up and there was a battery which was the main culprit for this car not to start. So let the jumper cables be connected for a few seconds and both the cars be in running position, so this battery gets charged up a bit in the meanwhile.
After a minute or two, now it's time to go ahead and disconnect the jumper cables. Now disconnecting the jumper cable is the right opposite of the connection process. Start by disconnecting the negative terminal of the car with a bad battery, then the negative terminal of the car with a good battery. Then comes the next step, which is positive terminal of the bad battery, then the positive terminal of the good battery.
Oof, this is a sign of relief, so the car started up. This shows that there's some kind of battery life left over in this, and if I give it for a recharge, the battery life will be completely restored. So that's all for now guys. If you like this video, please consider that like button. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned, more interesting videos coming up, and if you have any queries or suggestions, just comment on the comment section and I'll make sure to reply to it. See you guys in the next video.
And now I know